Alright, haulers. Hello and welcome back to Train Sim World 2020. So we've just been called in here in the UK in London Paddington to cover for a driver who is, I guess, sick or something like that. So we're going to be jumping on, I believe this is, what, Class 3 GWG or something like that? I don't honestly remember what the name of the locomotive is. And doing a route in the UK. And so we're going to head over and get on the train here and get started so we can be on time. And as soon as we're rolling, I have a couple things I want to cover, including why I am doing this rather than the new locomotive that was just released, I believe, yesterday. And we'll get into that here in just a second. I don't want to be late, so we'll go ahead and jump on the train so we don't have to get taken out by some people who are very angry that their train is late. We'll go ahead and jump on, close the door, sit down, find out where we're going. We have to set this thing to forward, and we have to set the lights. Oh, headlamps, markers, it's all good. Unlock the doors on the left side. And how exactly do I do that? Because it never taught me in the tutorial. Alright. The door should be unlocking. My bad, I forgot that it is a tab menu. It's not an actual button, or at least if there is a button, I don't know where it is. So that is my bad. Obviously, like I said, didn't show any buttons in the tutorial, so I don't honestly know. And it is my first time driving this line. I wanted to get out here and experience something that wasn't in the US, which is part of why I'm not doing the new train, which is on the Caltrain line in the Peninsula Corridor. The new train being the MP36PH-3C Baby Bullet. I believe you get the train and some cars in that DLC. And personally, I think it's a little too expensive for a single locomotive and some cars. We'll discuss that here once we get rolling too as well. And there's a couple other reasons. Obviously, the biggest reason we're not doing it is because I wanted to get out of the US. The last two trains that we've covered have been US side. I wanted to do something different. We're going to go ahead and make sure we get the doors and stuff on time so we can get rolling. Go ahead and lock them. Hopefully, set the train brakes to running. Whoop. Signal permitting, apply power to get going. Signal is green, so we are going to go ahead and apply power. We'll start with one notch, and as soon as we get rolling, we will apply another notch. We'll apply another notch now because we are going kind of slow. And yeah, the signal is green, so we're going to go ahead and we should be able to roll right through. I believe I have to press this button, AWS, whatever that is at some point. Potentially already having missed that. Obviously, like I said, it's my first time driving a UK train. I don't think I ever really did this in the older game, which is just Train Simulator, something like that. I believe they had a steam locomotive in there, but a lot of what I did was freight lines and things like that, so I never really did passenger lines and never had the opportunity to learn on this locomotive. Now, one thing I do want to mention, like I said, we'll talk about why I'm not doing the Caltrain. Obviously, first, like I said, is the fact that it is a US-based locomotive. And we have already done two locomotives in the US, being the CSX freight line and the New York Metropolitan Transit trains. That's a mouthful for someone who can't speak normal English. So because of that, we're in the UK today. And probably doing... Actually, you know what? I do know what we're doing for the next episode already. And it will be heading back to North America. I don't know... I've probably already given it away what we're going to be doing next time, but... little bit of a surprise for the next one, so definitely keep an eye out for that. There will be a little bit more than the normal amount of time between now and when that's released, just because I have a couple other special videos coming out. And then, like I said, the other big reason why I'm not doing Caltrain is because it's just so expensive. And I understand that there's a few factors that probably play into it. The first one being licensing. They're using, symbols and trademarks and stuff. So they're probably licensing them, especially, the locomotive itself, the liveries, the Caltrain name, that sort of thing. So they want to make their money back on that front and potentially break even or profit, as well as a few other things. The amount of time it takes to model these locomotives, potentially if they've purchased 3D models instead of modeling themselves. Obviously they have payroll for everyone who's doing the modeling. and all that fun stuff. And I believe, yeah, we still got a green signal, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna apply another notch of power here, try and get up to 50, which I believe is, whoop, slow down. Get a little excited there. But there's, you know, that sort of thing. But when you've got a game like American Truck Simulator, where they're releasing an entire state for closer to $10, $15, as well as, you know, the Hunter, All the Wild, they release entire maps, and they're beautiful models. Obviously, like I said, they don't have to license stuff, they don't have anything like that, but I'm sure that plays into it. As well as with Train Sim World, I wouldn't be surprised if the fact that the player base isn't quite as large has an impact. At least a little bit. You gotta imagine, if you've got, you know, 10 dedicated players, it would probably cost them a lot more rather than if the game had 100, because they could spread that cost out. And I will say, probably part of the reason they struggle with a fan base, or I say struggle very loosely, there's a very dedicated fan base, including myself, because they make really, really great games, but I feel like they're missing out just because of the sheer cost of getting into this game. The entry, it's so much. And I think people just aren't interested in games that cost just this much. I mean, thousands of dollars. I don't think that this one's reached over 1,000 yet, but if you look at the old Train Simulator, it was, I mean, easily over $1,000 just from the cost of all the DLCs and locomotives and lines you could purchase. I mean, it was just insanity. And so there is that. We have 33 miles to go, so I'm going to put the pedal down, try and get us moving here. This is a very interesting route. Very busy, too, from the looks of it, with all the locomotives. But, you know, I want to make sure, you know, I'm not talking trash on these guys. I 100% back Dovetail and the people that make these games, because these games are gorgeous. They give us the opportunity to get a real look inside these locomotives and experience things like, I've never been to the UK. I don't know if I'll ever be to the UK. I would like to at some point, but, you know, it gives us the ability to see things we just don't have ready access to in real life, and I have a real love for that. I'm really thankful that they do that. But I think they are missing out a little bit with just how it's priced. Obviously, there are going to be people out there that are, you know, less off than I am, and they're like, yeah, dude, it's killing me. And then there's going to be people out there that don't have the pressure of finances on them, that I'm be like, you know, it's no big deal, whatever, it doesn't matter. And I think some people that just don't have to worry about that kind of lose touch with the realities of, you know, a lot of people out there don't have the ability to spend multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars on stuff. Obviously not $100,000 on a game, but to someone who is living paycheck to paycheck and stuff like that, you're probably like, well, they shouldn't be buying games in the first place. Everyone needs something they enjoy. So I'm not going to knock people like that. Everyone needs an out. And I would say, if your out is video games, that's better than meth or something like that. So you can't, I'm not going to knock people, but I wish they would consider it and, you know, take it into consideration more. I am thoroughly disappointed that it's still so expensive. So for me, what I'll probably be doing is waiting until there's a Steam sale or something like that, and then I'll be probably getting that locomotive, depending on, you know, the next episode will be on a very specific line, and so I don't know when we'll be visiting the Peninsula Corridor. Since the next one will most likely be North America, I will probably be doing Germany after that, so the main Spessartbahn, or however you pronounce it. I do apologize, I'm not German, so I don't really know. But that's kind of my game plan for coming up. So we'll see how that goes. And if you guys have anything you want to see, by all means, let me know. If you guys really, really want to see the Caltrain stuff, I will definitely get it. But for someone who, you know, obviously I still have to spend some time budgeting and that sort of thing, that's just the reality of it. I don't make money off of YouTube. I do this stuff for fun. You know, the investment into it, I can only go so far before I'm having to figure out which cardboard box is going to be my next house. So I say next, I don't live in a cardboard box now, obviously, but I don't want to do that either, so that is a big portion of why I've got to be careful. So just keep that in mind, and yeah, we'll be good. And it looks like this is a non-stop line all the way out. I mean, we are cooking it. We are going quite the distance here, 29 miles to the next stop. So it looks like we're just good to go. I'm gonna boost us a little bit. Looks like we got another guy. I'm sure this guy is going pretty fast, but it looks like he's sitting still. Ooh, my. Seeing that coming the other way is a little terrifying. The only thing I have to say, too, is this icon in front of me, I think I can turn them off, but they're very helpful. Problem is they are so, like, obnoxiously large. I don't know if I can change that. I'll have to take a look into that and see if I can do that. If you guys know, by all means, let me know. I know I'm an idiot, but it'd be nice if you wouldn't treat me like one. So there is that, you know. Just keep that in mind. You know, if you see something, by all means, point it out. But do it respectfully. I don't know why people don't do that anymore. It's seems to be going the wayside, and it kind of sucks because I see a lot of really good people miss out on opportunities just because of that. I know I've done it. I was an asshole. I wouldn't say was. I probably still am at a lot more points than I'd like to admit, but it is what it is. You know, you can only change so much, and you can only do better going forward. And speaking of doing better going forward, what are you guys' plans so far for 2020? Have you guys accomplished anything you had planned on? I know I've talked about that and other stuff. Normally, I don't really sit back and just talk about stuff in this series. I know in the beginning I talked about my experience with rail fanning and that sort of thing. But normally, like, ETS2 or ATS is my time to sit down and have a one-on-one with you guys. And I think because it's such a long route today, I don't really have to worry about that. So we're just going to chill and chat and do that sort of stuff, and hope there's not a log in front of me I'm supposed to see because of these icons, and go from there. But yeah, let me know what you guys are doing for this year. Anything you guys have accomplished already or want to accomplish this year. I know for me, the biggest thing recently has been organization. I'm someone who... It's weird because I'm stuck between this middle ground of wanting to be as organized as possible, and when I'm in an area where I'm disorganized, I struggle. Both with stress levels and just, like, my mind just gets jumbled. Like, if I'm trying to record and I've got a mess around me or something like that, I can't do it. Like, you see those horrific pictures of people that have, like, just piles and piles and piles of shit around them and hoarders and stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, I can be messy too, but that's, like, next level. I couldn't handle that. I would actually lose it. And, yeah, that's not... that's no good, for sure. But I'm also lazy, to be quite honest. I'm trying really hard not to be. Something I've tried really hard... Ooh, we need to slow down. I didn't realize we were going too fast. My bad. Throw on the train brake here and try and slow down. See, that's what happens when you get lost in thought. But... What was I saying? Oh, one of the things that I've tried really, really hard over the last few years is I don't take medicine unless I absolutely have to. So if I have a headache, my first thing will be either sleep it off or do something about it. Because personally, I just don't like having to take a ton of medicine unless I absolutely have to. It's not good for you. It really isn't, at least from what I know. So there is that. And the other thing is caffeine. I'm not a coffee drinker. I've never been a coffee drinker. I can't stand coffee. And this is going to be weird because the thing that I always go to, my go-to, is Monster. I would love if they would sponsor me, honestly, because I go through so much of it. Monster isn't what I would say a healthy drink. There's nothing wrong with it. They're not going to sponsor me now that I've said that. There's nothing really wrong with it, I guess. But obviously, the amount of caffeine in coffee and in energy drinks does impact you. And you just gotta manage it and be careful with it. You know, that's why I don't do 24-hour streams anymore, is because I've seen some really nasty stuff happen, and I've come close to some really nasty stuff happening, and I don't really want that. I don't want to be remembered as the guy who had a heart attack on live stream or something like that, and that is a serious issue, especially with my family background and that sort of thing, is taking care of myself. And so I don't really drink coffee. I don't drink coffee at all, I should say. I haven't had coffee. Like, I've had sips of it over the last couple of years, here and there, but I don't drink coffee. I don't get up every day and have coffee first thing in the morning. That's not what I do. Typically, if I'm really struggling, I'll have Monster once in a while. You know, recently a lot more, because I've been really trying to push myself. You know, lawn days. I'm not gonna complain about it, but You know, you need something to kind of keep you going when you have to have razor sharp focus for as long as you do when you're making a video or something like this. Like, you have to be very much alert and awake and on and keeping track of stuff, because I'm sitting here talking, I'm awake, like I'm the most awake I've been, and I still miss the fact that we were speeding. And so that just goes to show, if you ask me, kind of how distracting this can be. Even it's just because you're talking so much. You have to focus on so many things. I only have so many brain cells to go around as it is. So there is that. But I am starting to get to a point now where I'm doing so much that if I don't start having some form of caffeine, I'm gonna like lose my mind. And as much as I love Monster, I don't know, coffee just seems like an easier alternative, just because like you can go out and you can get packs of Monster and stuff, but you can get like coffee for super cheap. And so I'm trying to find some way to drink coffee. For me, what I can't stand about coffee is it's so bitter. I can't do bitter stuff. It's just not my style. Like, I've always tried to like do either black coffee or like French vanilla or stuff like that, and I just can't do it. So I'm trying to find some way to smooth it out enough that, like, even if I don't like the taste, like, don't get me wrong, like the white Monsters I like the taste of, but the green Monster, like the original Monster, I cannot, like, I don't like the taste of it. And that was part of why I started drinking it, is because just the sheer fact that it hit you so hard and you don't like it was what helped keep me awake. But problem is, now I like the taste of the white Monsters, which doesn't really help. But I need something other than that to kind of mix it up to something different. So I'm trying to find some coffee. If you guys have any ideas or any suggestions for good coffee that isn't super, I mean, coffee is bitter, there's no getting around that, but potentially if you guys are in the same boat as me where you don't like just regular coffee or something, if you have special methods that you take to smoothen it, let me know. And that's been my biggest thing, is trying to find a way to be more alert, you know, trying to accomplish more, which obviously I'm trying to find a balance between accomplishing more and not completely burning myself out. That's not really a good thing to burn yourself out, and I've already experienced that a few times. And well, I wouldn't say it's been at least a couple of times. I don't want to go through it again. I find that when I am extremely stressed, I can burn out really easily now, especially after, like, I think I went through it really hard once, and I don't think I've quite recovered from it. Like, it's always on the back of my mind, so I'm trying really hard not to go through it again. So I just gotta be careful. But the disorganization too, I'm trying really hard to pair that with being more organized, finding ways to be more efficient with recording, with creating, with everything I do. And so I've taken a lot of time to really crunch on some stuff, and it feels good. I've started using a task list. I'm very list oriented, you know, making checklists. You guys will know if you've watched my streams, my biggest issue lately has been forgetting to switch audio and stuff like that. So I've literally, like, I'm in the process of making checklists of, like, what I'm doing before I stream, so that, say I'm a little bit tired one day, I don't miss something. And so hopefully that'll make a huge difference, so you guys won't be watching me on stream but not being able to hear me, or I screw up a recording and have to redo it 2 times like I did with the Ace Combat. If you guys missed that, that was fun. But definitely working on that stuff. We are cranking. We're getting there. Doing good. But yeah, I mean, just super busy, trying to keep busy, trying to get some stuff done. So like I said, let me know what you guys are trying to accomplish, what you guys are doing. I'm curious to see. I know I've got friends who are getting ready to take some really big leaps, and I am very proud of them, and hoping that they do well. That you know who you are if you're watching this. But for the most part, steady where I'm at. I'm not really doing anything crazy. Same old, trying to focus on YouTube. Working on some outside projects with design and things like that. Got a few cool things coming up that I'm excited for, that I don't know if I'll be able to share. Some of the stuff I do, a good portion of the stuff I do, I can't share. And that sucks a lot. I don't really talk about it much, but there are a lot of graphic projects that I can't actually share. And that's... It sucks even worse because I can't put them in my portfolio as well, so I can't share the work I've done. But at the end of the day, you gotta do what you gotta do to, you know, cover things and take care of stuff. But yeah, a lot more that goes on behind the scenes than people realize, especially with YouTube and things like that. Just keep that in mind when you're watching the creator and they're tired. Probably a good reason behind it. But yeah, I'm excited too. Coming up, I would like to, well, I'm aiming to kick off a couple new things on the channel. I am playing with the idea still of the Longhauler Out of Context series. One thing, I think I've mentioned it too, is I used to love the funny moments stuff, so I was a huge fan of people like Vanoss, Smitty. Currently, I've been binging the hell out of people like Grizzy and Blarg, or Blarg my Schnoopel. Great name, I love that. So people like that whole crew. I don't typically just watch one person. If it's a whole crew, I'll watch all the people, especially, like, one thing they always talk about is the people who, like, will watch one person's perspective but not watch the others, but I'm the opposite, where if a group of people play a game together, I probably watch every single one of their videos, even if there's a delay between it. So, like, with Funny Moments, someone will release it, like, the day after they record, and then someone will release the same video, you know, months later with the same clip. And I'll still watch it. I still go back and rewatch some old videos. I was surprised I had an old, like, Skate 3 video from Wildcat pop in the other day. I was like, whoa, I haven't seen this in years. I mean, it's literally been like, what? Wow, that was 2014 that they were doing that? So it's been almost 6 years, which is insanity if you ask me. Like, it's weird because I've been watching so many creators for so long, but I really love funny moment stuff. That was part of why I started the Longhauler channel, was I wanted to do that stuff. And part of what I've been really struggling with is I try to keep to a theme on my channel. All of my content fits under a specific window of simulation / let's play / stuff like that. And so I'm trying to not limit myself to one thing, but I also don't want to put a bunch of different random stuff because I don't want to throw you guys for a loop, and I don't want to, you know, mix and mash just random stuff that doesn't need to be, I guess. It's hard to explain. Like, I don't want to put live archives on my channel because that's not what this is for. You guys are here to watch trimmed content, you know what I mean? But I am playing with the idea, I think I mentioned it too, is I'm gonna be doing the out of context videos because I think it's hilarious. I just need to get enough clips together, which is the toughest part because I am one person. And as much as I watch my own content, I only have so much time in the day, so I'm trying really, really hard to get that stuff together. Like, I'm trying to cut those out while I edit now, rather than going back and doing it afterwards. That's definitely making a difference, but it's been a rush lately. I've been a little bit late getting content out the last few days because I've been, like, trying to catch up and get ahead, because I'll work a little bit on something that is still vital to YouTube, but isn't actually a video, and then I'll have to rush to get my actual video done so you guys can see what you're gonna see. So you guys end up watching, like, half-hour chunks of a 14-hour day, which is just, you guys have no idea. Like, there's so many, and I didn't realize that when I started too. Like, and I'm not, like, I don't get paid, I'm not full-time, I don't have any of that, but there's probably, like, it's gotta be insane. Oh, god damn it, speeding again. No, no. Just got up again. Let's just stand up while we're driving. Throw the brake on real quick, let it slow down. Why am I'm getting points for going over? That's hilarious. Oh yeah, we gotta slow down here soon. I'm gonna start putting us down to 90 now. I'm gonna set it on initial, see how long it takes us. Looks like we'll be okay. I don't want to slam the brakes on and have everyone go flying out of their seats, though. That's my only thing. We'll take it nice and easy. Looks like, yeah, about 10 miles. 10 miles an hour, over a mile. So we should be, like, right on the money. I probably could have waited a little bit longer, too. Yeah, I could have waited longer, but we'll let it coast and do its thing now. But yeah, just so much going on. Obviously, like I said, I'm not full-time. I don't get paid. I don't have anything like that. Or I say I don't get paid very loosely. I have a single Patreon supporter, which, don't get me wrong, means the world, but, you know, this is by all means not a job. You know, this is a hobby with, I think even PewDiePie said it, like, YouTube is a full-time job without a paycheck, unless you're a massive creator. And even some of the massive creators are kind of struggling right now, which is kind of sad. But, oh, do we have to slow down? Oh, shit. I didn't see the 60-mile-an-hour thing, so we're gonna put the brakes on heavy. I don't know if we're gonna make that in time. That's gonna be close. I want to kind of keep it as high as I can, while maximizing our speed the whole way through. Alright, I'm gonna drop this up to 3. Ooh, she gonna be close. Come on, come on, come on. Holy crap. Oh. Alright, we're just gonna keep slowing down. This is getting... Oh. We're actually coming up to the stop right now. I'm gonna slow us down to a crawl, and then we'll inch in. And the reason we're going to do that is because I don't know where the actual light is. I don't know if it's before where it wants me to stop or after. Oh, 188, so it's a little bit after, so we should be fine. But we are coming up to a platform that we're going to be dropping people off. And we also have a couple seconds, so we'll try and get up here, and then I'll set the final brakes, and we'll get stopped. I'm sure I was in the middle of a thought and forgot to finish it, so if that's the case, then just yell at me in the comments. And I like how I say yell at me in the comments right after I said, don't be a dick. Oh gosh, I'm sending mixed messages here. Come on. Woo, that was close. Right on time, look at that. I wonder if we nailed it. I doubt it. Yeah, it looks like we were right on time. That was close. Definitely a little closer than I'd like it to be. The one thing I was looking at, I was actually looking at getting a, like, I have a joystick and a wheel and stuff, but I was looking at, like, those tabletop rail, like, simulator stuff, where it has, like, the throttle levers and stuff on it, rather than just doing it with the keyboard. But it's expensive, man. It's ridiculous. And then, of course, not only is it expensive, when you look through all the reviews, everyone's PO'd because they can't seem to get it to work right. And I'm not saying the people that bought it can't get it to work right, but the people who made it are not really the most intelligent people. So I guess that's what it is. Not much you can do about that. But it'd be nice to see someone come out with a proper peripheral for this stuff. And we'll see about closing the doors. Objective complete? Oh, I guess he was just late. Okay, so we're gonna be disembarking. Oh, I almost fell out onto the almost fell out of the train. Probably not ideal, to be honest. I gotta make sure I shut the door, because that's the OCD. I guess technically I could have left the door open, but I'm gonna guess too we didn't get the highest level medal. I'm gonna guess we're just short. Very quiet for a big station, that's for sure. Yeah, that's not legit. I don't know if you guys saw them. Look at how they're walking. Is he even taking the step forward? Nope. It's just a constant, until this one, it's just a constant down. That's broken. Look. Lady's like a superhero or something. That's not legit at all. Well, else I gotta come through here at some point. Probably do it on stream and find all the posters or whatever there is. I'm excited to do that. I haven't done that yet. I think we're done. Yep, there we are. Yeah, see, we sped twice, but we did, look at the curve. We did way better this time than before. We definitely cut it close here. We got a gold medal. Is that the highest level medal? If we did, that's the first time I think we've gotten a gold medal. Can we see somewhere? Yep, it is the highest level medal. I'll be damned. All right, cool. So we have actually mastered that one the first time. That is awesome. And so there you have it. And yeah, wow, English is not great today. But I am sorry for all the blabbering. I know we covered a lot of stuff and there's a lot of talking, but I like using these games that are much longer to kind of have a one-on-one with you guys. I don't normally do that with Train Sim World, but this was the perfect route, and that was a lot of fun. Honestly, I thoroughly enjoyed that. But before I go any further, I do also want to give a massive shout out to WX Squint, who is my Patreon supporter at the 3rd tier, which is Pavement Pounders. It means so much, honestly, having support like that. And if you are interested in that, you can find links to that in the description below. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.